Alright, hi guys, Jared Bruning here again with another quick little tech video tip, or I guess a tech tool that I wanted to show you here today. Today I wanted to show you a thing called Mindmup, and maybe some of you have used this before. It's kind of a cool like graphic organizer builder that you can use, and actually, it works within Google Drive. What you need to do, and to create one, or to have your students create one, or you could create like a template and then send it out, is go over here to New and click on New. Of course, you got your standard stuff that pops up like slides and all that stuff. But if you go to More, you can see here's where you got your forms and drawings and sites and all that. And if you come down here, you can keep coming down, you'll see there's this thing called Mindmup 2.0 for Google Drive. If you click on that, it's going to open up this Mindmup. All right, and you kind of get an idea of what Mindmup does just by its logo right up here. But let's say, for instance, okay, I taught American history, and so I wanted the students to create a graphic organizer of the branches of government. All right, so what they would do is, of course, here you can see, here is my, where I'm starting from. All right, so this is going to be the overall title of my entire Mindmup. So if I double click on it, I can type in branches of government. All right, now if you notice, it's got this this highlight around the edges. All right, it's got these little dashes going around the edges. That means that box is currently, the one that I'm working on. So I can right click on that box. So if I do a right click, you can see it opens up all these different things I can do with this box. And so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to change the color of it. So I'm going to click on Style here, and let's say I want to change the background to be red, and I want the text to be white. All right, so I'm going to hit OK. All right, so there you can see it changed all that stuff. Now, this is where students always giggle and laugh when I would work on this with them. This, what they call a node, that's what they call it in Mindmup, they call this as a node. This node's going to have a child, all right? And so you're going to add several children to this node. And so one way you can do it is right-click, and you can see it says Insert Child, or you can click over here where it says Insert Child. So with this highlighted, with this, the edge of it with these dashes around it, I'm going to click on Insert a Child Node, and there you can see one just popped up, and now that one's highlighted. So if I'm doing branches of government, I'll do legislative branch. All right, now I'm going to want to add another child node, but again, it's got to go to the main heading. All right, so I'm going to click on it again. See, now it's highlighted. So now I'm going to insert another child, and executive. All right, and again, I've got to add one more, and so now I'm going to again highlight this one, add another child in there, judicial. All right. Now, I could keep on adding more stuff here, but if you notice, I mean, this isn't necessarily how I want this to look, because it's got the branches going in different directions. What I would like is like a top-down picture of some sort. So what I can do is I can go to this view. If I click on view, here you can see map themes. All right, so it has all these different ways you can organize it. And so, here's like a straight line one, so you can see the lines change to being straight. Productivity, you can see you can kind of change how it looks a little bit here. But I just want a standard, get back to it here. I just want a top-down standard view. All right, there we go. Now it's got all of them organized underneath. Now what I'm going to do for each one of these is I'm going to right-click on them, change the color a little bit, so that way, I know that color is executive branch stuff. This light blue is legislative, and I'll change this one to the light purple. Okay, so now I've got all my branches different colors. So now I can keep on adding in more. And so again, if I click on executive branch, let's say I want to add another child to that one, I can put, president makes up the executive branch. All right, legislative branch, I can add Congress. And if you notice, I have to go back and I have to change these colors once I put them in there, so that way I can have it being consistent all the way down. But here with Congress, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in House of Representatives, and I'll click on this one again, put another child one, Oops, I don't want it there. I want it right here. So I got that one. So I'm going to put it in a child and Senate. All right, click on this one, put it in the Supreme Court. All right, so you can see I'm making this whole, I've got all these different pieces and they're all kind of interconnecting here. And again, I can go back and I can change the view again if I wanted, change to a different map theme and just do standard. And you can see it kind of goes every which way. So, a cool way you could use this is maybe, if you read a story in class and you want the students to link all the characters together to kind of what their main purpose in the story was. You could kind of, you could pre-make this and have all of these. You could just make, little independent, if you click here where it says insert root node, you could just, make random ones here and put, like for this one, I'd put Supreme Court. All right, and I could make another one here and say lobbyist. All right, where do they play a role? And so what then you could have the students do is when they go to put the project together, they could grab these and okay, the Supreme Court, that's going to go with the judicial branch. All right, so connect to there. And lobbyist would work more with Congress. All right, or maybe I'd put them here with just connected to the legislative branch. All right, and so you could have students piece all the pieces together. In the past, I've had it where I've basically, one time I went through all of the history of the colonies, the early American colonies, and I gave the students all these different people like John Smith, Jamestown, John Winthrop, the Puritans, the Pilgrims, and I basically said, reasons in the middle of it. I set it up where it just said reasons why they came. And they could either choose economic or religious reasons, and they had to kind of connect them and see how, like, the Puritans were connected to the Pilgrims, but how the Pilgrims, eventually faded away, and they kind of had to interconnect everything. So it's just kind of a cool little tool to where students can kind of see how ideas all interconnect, or like in the case of here with the branches of government, I mean, this makes for a very good visual for them to be able to see how it's all put together. All right, so again, that's just a cool little tool, and there are some other pieces to it. I'm sure you can play around with. You can insert pictures and videos, and there's other pieces to it that I maybe didn't cover here, but for the most part, that's just kind of a simple rundown of what Mindmup can do. All right, so hopefully that's a tool you could possibly use with students, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.